Good morning, T-Walls! Mr. Quentin here with what we did for Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. So, in our continuing discussion of human rights, we're going to be looking at a variety of documents today that pertained to the advancement of human rights, and they are literally coming right out of our reading from yesterday and our discussion from yesterday. So we'll jump right into it because this, folks, is a minor grade assignment. It is 4 points. So jump on into quarter 3 for me, please. As always, we're pretending we're first period. You're going to go to your particular period. Head on into week of March 1st. There's the Tuesday folder where you will see your minor grade Human Rights Venn Diagram. All right, so this is pretty straightforward, folks. Our instructions here in the description. Please follow the directions in the slide deck to complete this minor grade assignment. Let's jump over to that slide deck. So it says here, you can choose any of the 2 early human rights documents in order to complete this Venn diagram. And as we all know, a Venn diagram is a circle on the left, circle on the right, and they overlap so that there's a little space that they share in the middle. And you are putting things that are unique to one thing in one side of the circle. You're putting things that are unique to a separate item on the other side of the circle. And in the middle, you're putting things that they share. So you can choose from things like the Magna Carta, the Petition of Right, the U.S. Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Rights of Man and of the Citizen, and of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So once you've made your choices, and again, so all of these things link. Here's one for the Magna Carta. Here's one with the Bill of Rights. And you can see here that they are what's called annotated, or they have brief explanations to help you so that you can see what these are all about. You are going to select them. So you could select like the Magna Carta, you can select like the Petition of Right, and again, so it'll take you to all these things so that you can see how it loads. There you go. Now, you're going to be looking over these. And again, I'm not needing you to read every single thing. There's a lot of stuff in here. These are a lot of hard things to read. Look for things that are unique. Break things down into chunks. Look for the ones that might be easier with the annotations, these little notes here that you can read. Look for those things. That's going to make this much easier. All right? And you're just going to find some things that are unique to each document and find some things that they share. So you have these 6 documents to choose from, and after making your choices, you're going to complete that Venn diagram. Again, you're looking for 3 traits or concepts unique to each choice that are going to be on the outside edges, and 2 traits or concepts that your choices share in the center. Here is your Venn diagram. Everything's already ready to go so that you can type right into it. All right, everything's done and loaded. So you're going to have 3 on the left that are unique to whatever document you have, 3 on the right that are unique to whatever document you've chosen, second document, and 2 things that they share. What is that going to look like when you're done? Well, hey, what do you know? It'll look a little something like this. So I chose the Magna Carta. I chose the Bill of Rights. And you can see here that some of the things that I found from the Magna Carta is that you have the right now to not be forced to do a knight's work. Yes, because apparently knights could make you do stuff, and they could make you do stuff to the detriment of you being able to do your own work to function. And now they can't make you do all this extra stuff. If you were a minor like you are right now and you inherited property, before, the person who was in charge of the property or the person who was in charge of you could pretty much do whatever they wanted. Now, the property had to be taken care of properly, and so that the minor would actually have something to inherit when they became of age. Another interesting thing that I found was that if you were a widow who had property, because generally speaking, women didn't really own property in this time. If you were a widow with property, you did not have to remarry unless you wanted to. There were some extra steps, but hey, at least now you could keep your land until you died. For the Bill of Rights, you can see here that it is clear that you are given the freedom of speech. It is clear that you are given the freedom of religion. And it is clear that if there are rights not specifically mentioned within the Bill of Rights, they belong to the people. Those are things that are not guaranteed in the Magna Carta. As a matter of fact, Magna Carta is forced to be one religion, and all of that wonderful stuff. So what do they share? That's a really good thing to think about. What do they share? Well, it turns out that court dockets, even back in the 1200s, could get pretty full. And so people were guaranteed the right to a speedy trial back then. So they were guaranteed the fact that even if the dockets were full, they had to try and get to your trial and get to your proceeding as fast as they could. Also, they had a problem in the Magna Carta all the way back in the 1200s with sheriffs taking property from people to, air quotes here, pay off a debt. And there were many sheriffs who were taking advantage of that, especially if someone died and they owed a debt. So now they said that there would have to be an arbiter who would come in and make sure that what the sheriff took was only enough to pay off the debt. They couldn't just take anything. They couldn't illegally grab or seize just anything anymore. And that's also something that is in the Bill of Rights. So we have the Bill of Rights that guarantees people to a right to a speedy trial, and you have no illegal seizure in the Bill of Rights. And folks, that's what you are doing, okay? So don't be scared by looking at the size of a document or anything like that. You're just looking them over to try and see if you can find anything that they might share in common, okay? So this is what we're doing. If you have any questions, please let me know. Send me a note in Schoology. Send me an email. This is due by 11:59 tonight. And other than that, you have a great day. Mr. Quinton, out.